Hey guys, I'm here just to give a update of the state of my collection. I've gotten a few requests just to update everyone on the state of my collection. Everybody has their own ways of collecting watches. Some like colors, some like the numbers. I think a lot of people like to collect watches based on the type of watches. Some people like to collect diver watches, sports watches, dress watches. Other people like to collect only one brand. I know a couple of friends who collect only Rolexes or only Omegas. But I wanted to spice it up a little bit and try to give a unique perspective. If you guys like poker, I'm going to give you a little bit of a poker reference and give my collection based on a poker narrative. So, as you can see, there's quad aces up front. I think there's 4 different types of watches, in my opinion. I think what I've collected, I only have 8 watches, but I think these 8 watches have given me satisfaction immensely. And it's basically divided into 4 categories. I'm going to give the first one to Ace of Hearts as the beater watch. So basically a beater watch, numerous people have talked about beater watches. Basically your daily watch. Even if you have 1 watch or 100 watches, there's going to be 1 watch or 2 watches that you're going to use majority of the time. And this is the watch you go to. A good beater watch is one that you need to have both in a casual as well as maybe a semi-dressy watch, so that you can go both to work as well as an afternoon or evening drink, or I live in South Florida, so maybe even it works poolside or to the beach. So the beater watch, a lot of people say what is a good brand for a beater watch. There is the Rolex Explorer. A lot of people like the Rolex. Even Datejust could be a consideration for a beater watch. But the beater watch I have, which is which I love because I usually use it every day to work. I kind of coincidental that it's the hearts. It is the Panerai 512, and this is a Panerai Radiomir 512, which is a 1940 transitional dial. Basically has the Radiomir case without the crown guard, which probably is very common in a lot of Illuminors, and it is great for me because I have a 7-inch wrist, and this is only 42 millimeters. A lot of people get upset about Panerais because of the large size, 45, 47, but this is 42. It fits perfectly on my wrist. It looks bigger than a 42 as well. It is a sporty watch because it doesn't have the crown guard. It is a simple 3-hand dial. There's no date, and it is robust. Is very thin, so if you want, you could use it as a semi-dressy watch, as a sporty watch, and it has a sapphire case back. You can see the beautiful movement. I think it's an in-house 999 movement. I think at the time, I think this is a 2013 watch. At the time, this was the most svelte Panerai out there. And it comes in with a beautiful, what Panerai does really well is it comes with a Panerai strap, and you can easily switch these straps on and off and give it a different look to the watch, depending on the time of day, type of year. This is my go-to watch, and so this is my Ace of Hearts, or my beater watch. Sorry, this falls. The second one is the ace of diamonds, and usually goes to the second type of watch, which is basically your dress watch. The honorable mentions to great dress watches would be, of course, the Patek Philippe Calatrava, the dress watches among dress watches in a lot of people's eyes. Longines for the person who wants just an affordable dress watch. A lot of people don't go out and dress up in a dress watch that much, but Longines has great collections, usually a more vintage look. But the Cartier Tank, another definitely a go-to dress watch amongst many collectors. But I think the best dress watch, in my opinion, and this is my opinion only, is the Reverso. And what I have is when I wanted to get a dress watch, I wanted to have a gold dress watch. And this is the 18 karat gold, pink gold Reverso, Grand Reverso Night and Day. As you can see on it has the it also does not have a date. It has only the time. It has a beautiful silvery dial to it, as well as a automatic movement, which is kind of interesting. Usually the reverses you see out there are manual winds, whether it be silver or gold, steel or gold. It has that beautiful, golden ratio. It comes with the beautiful JLC strap, and here's the back of the watch. And of course, it's being a reverso, used for polo players in the 1930s. This is one that actually has a blank back. A lot of them actually show the movements. Some of them actually you can have engraved, like this one I can have it engraved. A lot of them can also show another face to it. So this is my go-to dress watch. I use it occasionally. The third one is the third type of watch. So this is the beater, this is the dress. The third one would be a diver watch. The diver watch, by definition, should be water resistant, of course, to deeper depths. Honorable mentions would be the Omega Seamaster. Absolutely great watch, whether it be the Pierce Brosnan or the modern Master Coaxial, or even the Planet Ocean has great lines, great models to it, different colors. The Breitling Super Ocean is another good example. But what I think of a diver watch, it would be the Submariner. And what I have here is a 16803 transitional diver watch. This is the 1980s version. It's a vintage watch. I believe this is the first two-tone Submariner that was out there. It is one of the first ones with the sapphire glass, and as you can see, if you look closely, it says 300 meters. It does have the date. Some people don't like the Cyclops. Another one that caused me great anxiety to choose this watch over another model of the same brand, the Rolex Submariner No Date. A lot of people think that's the perfect diver watch. I would not have much argument against it. The No Date Submariner is a beautiful watch, especially the ceramic modern ones. But I think what drew me to this watch was the Sunburst. Oh, the blue dial. That is a winner. And the two-tone gold gives it a 1980 feel to it. And this is just a great watch. You can, this is definitely a watch that is blingy. But it's not too blingy because of the two-tone, the steel and the gold. It has a great, little bit of patina to it. And this definitely the difference. Another difference, I think the newer models have the gold all the way onto the strap, but this one does not have it on the strap. So even if you scratch here, it doesn't scratch the gold, which I liked. So this was why I chose this one over the newer ceramic models. Even though the ceramic models are beautiful, don't get me wrong. This is the newer ceramic models are definitely a great buy as well. This is 40 millimeters, and this is definitely, of course, it has the I believe the Rolex 305 or Rolex in-house movement, which is a great movement. Definitely a classic diver watch, which can also be used as a dressy, semi-casual watch as well. So that's the third type of watch. So you have the beater, the dress, the diver, and the fourth one usually we have is the complications, right? So you can have a perpetual calendar, you can have chronographs, you can have tourbillons if you have a collection of those. GMTs would be another complication. So actually, if you look at here, and this is where the poker reference goes to, sorry for me to pull it out here, but this one, the complication I love, and this is in my sub collection within the collection, is the chronographs. I do love chronographs. I do work in the medical field, so I think that's the one useful complication for me that's more useful than even a smartphone. If I want to check a pulse, or I wanted to see if there was a medical emergency, if you want to take a pulse or check the time, it is quicker to just snap on your chronograph timer than on your timer on your smartphone. It takes basically less than a second just to start the timing. So I do love my chronographs, and I am very proud of my chronograph collection. And so this is actually, I have a sub collection, and what beats quad aces? Quad aces in poker is a very, very great hand, but just pushing this towards the side here. Is the royal flush. So I'm going to put this, because I have 5 chronographs that I am very, very proud of. And I'm going to put this in the order that I think is the movements that they have. So coming in at the 10 of spades, which is my 5th best chronograph in my opinion, is the Breitling Navitimer. I know that their newer ones are 43 and 46 millimeters, but I love the vintage chronographs, the 806. This is an 81600 vintage 1980 model. It comes with the Breitling bracelet, and it is of course, it has that recess bezel, as well as a beautiful dial. The reason why and you can see the chronograph running right now in a beautiful fashion. It is too crowded in my opinion, but it's 41 millimeters, fits on the wrist perfectly, and it has a great bracelet. It's a really blingy bracelet, which does have a lot of fans, and people usually ask me because of the bracelet. So that is the 10 of spades. Coming up on the list of my chronographs that I have is, of course, I think the best chronograph amongst the Rolex. The best Rolex chronograph model is the white dial ceramic Daytona, very, very in demand. Do love this watch. Comparing it to the Breitling, it's a little more cleaner. It has it's a smaller watch, I believe it's 40 millimeters. This is much more water resistant, and this black ceramic bezel gives it a bigger look than a 40. And of course it has a great lume to it. It's much more, I prefer this more than the black because of the visibility. It's more legible than the black dial. So, and it has a beautiful stainless steel bracelet. So a lot of people may be wondering what's better than a Rolex Daytona amongst chronographs. Of course, this is my opinion only, but from the SIH 2007, this is a very new model. It is the JLC Master Chronograph. This is part of the Master Collection dial. It is the sector dial. This is the second. There's a master date. There's a master chronograph, which I do have, and then there's master geographic. This is a stainless steel 40 millimeter watch, which with a beautiful sector subdial. And it has two subdials. It has a very clean look. Again, if you notice, there's no date on this one like the Daytona and the Navitimer. I don't like dates. It just makes it a little, it makes it less clean in my opinion. But that being said, this is definitely a great watch. It comes in with a beautiful blue leather strap from JLC, and of course it has the master control on the back. Definitely, and the beautiful blue dial. Comparing it to the Rolex or the previous, it's a little much more cleaner look, I think, and that subdial is very beautiful. That blue sub gives it a very great look to it. I'll get into details of each watch later on, maybe a review, if you may. Now coming to the King. This probably is one of my favorite watches. It's also probably the most in-demand chronograph. And when people say chronographs, you think of a couple of brands. And of course, this comes as the Omega Speedmaster. Not any Speedmaster. It comes in the 42 millimeter standard size. But this is the Omega Silver Snoopy limited edition Apollo 13. It is a great watch. It is a collectible watch. It has a great strap. It's a deploying strap from Omega. And the back, look at that back here with the silver Snoopy medallion on enamel in space. So of course it's a limited edition, 1,970 pieces only. And look at that Snoopy. It is a ceramic. I believe it's a ceramic bezel and a sapphire glass. So this is basically scratch resistant. A lot of people like to compare these two. Again, this just feels, in my opinion, only a little more cleaner. This has an Alemania 1861 movement. And of course, another thing that it has is, let me just turn off the light here. Briefly, is the loom. If you look at the loom here, you can see Snoopy lighting up, and this is just briefly, a couple of seconds. This just happened, and if you keep it a little longer in the light, it will brighten up again. But this is definitely a great watch. A collectible, in my opinion, and definitely. So that's the Breitling. That's the Rolex Daytona ceramic white dial, JLC Master Chronograph, the silver Snoopy, and then comes the question: what is my favorite chronograph, aka complication? It is the Zenith El Primero. It is a classic watch. It is the first automatic chronograph, I believe, in 1969. This is not a standard Zenith El Primero. This is actually the striking 10th model. This is the limited edition, I believe, in 2012 or 1,969 pieces. And it is, if you look at all the other chronographs, this actually has a high beat frequency. This movement was actually used in the old Daytonas, as probably many of you know. The zenith movement was modified in the older Rolex Daytonas. This is 36,000 vibrations per hour, and that basically is 10 beats per second. So basically, it's a difference between this is they basically expanded the dial, basically making it a good 42 millimeters. Well, 42 millimeters is the size, and then they made the and just press the timer here. If you can see here, they made it a 10-second. So every 10 seconds, the chronograph makes one round, and so basically you can calculate 1/10 of a second. If you stop it here, you can basically calculate 1/10 of a second. And it has a great metallic silver dial with the tricolor, which is the tribute to the A386 of 1969 model. It is water resistant to 100 meters, I believe. I put it on a leather strap. This is just and this is definitely a great chronograph. If I had to choose one chronograph, this would probably be the El Primero Striking 10th model. But all these are definitely great chronographs as well. So these are all my chronographs, as well as coming back to the selection: a beater, a dress, a diver, and a complication watch. So that's basically it. Hopefully you had some fun with the collection, and if you have any suggestions of what to add to the collection, just please comment below. Thank you.